Today we're going to talk about the Airsoft Innovations Tornado Grenade. Now, it's a fairly simple device, but there are a few critical things to cover, and we're going to hopefully convey that to you so that you can avoid some of the small mistakes that we've made. First off, I'd like to say that this is one of the best airsoft grenades that I have tested. The reliability of the device is almost 100%, which is far greater than anything else that I've seen, either pyrotechnic or chemical or even other CO2 devices. So, let's get to what you need to know. Airsoft Innovations sent us some really slick accessories that you're probably going to want to take a look at. First, we've got the spoon kit, the bang kit, also known as the distraction device, the propane and duster gas adapter kit, and a maintenance kit. The spoon kit is available from Airsoft Innovations for $14.95, and you get 5 parts, which I have partially assembled here, and it really does add a really cool level of realism to the grenade. First off, you get the spoon, obviously. You'll notice that there's a little foot on the top portion of the spoon here. You're going to be using that to actually lock it into what they're calling the spoon head, and you can see there's a small slot right there. You would just insert it and then basically let it seat, and you can see that there is a small hole. That's where the safety pin would insert through. Now, what just fell off into my hand is an important part. It is the plug, and this is something that is secured rather flimsily to the spoon head right here. It just sort of seats in there. I'm not going to do it right now because it's not necessary for the sake of this demo, but there is one other small part, and that is a small Allen screw, which you can see. It's the little black piece right there amongst all the silver aluminum, and that is something that you're going to need to actually secure the spoon head to the top of the grenade. They say that you're supposed to make sure that the little set screw lines up with the delay hole. If you're able to do that, you are more coordinated than I am. I wasn't actually able to get them to perfectly line up and insert. It seems to be a non-issue, although Airsoft Innovation states that it is the way you're supposed to use it. So again, do your best to follow the instructions. The safety pin here, it only differs from the other one really in that you have this little hook, which acts as an additional safety device to help keep the pin in place. And that's something that you're going to see when we actually demo the grenade with the spoon head on it. Again, 15 bucks, and it's really cool. The biggest drawback as I see it is that you're going to have to take care of some additional parts and of course keep track of them. This flies off, so they do offer a paracord attachment, which is really simple. It's just a piece of paracord attached to the spoon itself to keep it with the grenade when it's deployed. A couple of parts you're going to have to supply yourself, as I alluded to, is the Allen key and a small pin-like device to push any excess rubber out of the plug so that it can secure to the spoon head. Just a heads up. Next on deck is the distraction device kit. It is also $14.95, available from Airsoft Innovations. And this kit is actually quite simple. It really just involves a small seal and some burst disc stickers. The seal device is used to prevent the gas from escaping through the side tubes, which would ordinarily expel BBs, and it would be inserted into the bottom of the grenade. You get about a dozen or so of these sticker strips, and each strip contains 4 of these stickers, which are probably very difficult to see. They're about the size of a quarter, well, a little bit larger perhaps, and again, very difficult to see there. But they actually would be inserted into this back cap after you remove the overpressure plug. You can see there's a little bit of grease there, so you want to clean that first before inserting the sticker. Again, for the sake of demonstration, I'm just going to go ahead and do it. You would then make sure everything is sealed, and one thing I found is that you really do want to remove that grease and to make sure that there is a seal, because the pressure, even though we're not talking about tons and tons of pressure, it's still enough to where if there is grease and the seal isn't made with the sticker, it'll actually just push the sticker through. It won't actually break the plastic. and of course that doesn't give you the same level of bang. So be aware of that. Now, once you have the sticker installed, you're going to make sure that you have the seal, and you want the O-ring side up, at least according to the instructions. You simply drop it in. It's actually very easy to do. There's, it just falls right into place. They really machine these parts well because they fit together very, very well. You want to screw it down. You want to be careful to not cross-thread the screws as you're tightening everything down. And then, assuming you'd gassed up the grenade and everything is charged and ready to go, you would simply pull the pin, as I am about to do right now, making sure everything is, of course, safe in the area of deployment. And then wait for the pop, which can take a few seconds and is actually quite loud. If I had to describe the pop, I would say that it is roughly equivalent to a very loud air gun, perhaps, or a firecracker like a small ladyfinger or something like that popping. They claim it's 120 decibels. I have no real way of measuring that. It's loud. It is a distraction, so I feel that it lives up to the description. Not as loud as I had hoped, but again, we're not dealing with an tremendous amount of pressure. So pretty cool overall. Now, for $5.95, you can get the Airsoft Innovations propane and duster gas adapter. This gives you quite a bit of flexibility, and I have to say, even though these are simple tools, I was very impressed with the ingenuity that Airsoft Innovations has shown. Now, what I mean by ingenuity is that for $6 you get 2 adapters, and they're interchangeable to a certain extent. That is, even though they're made of plastic, let's say, for example, that your propane adapter gets damaged. Let's say that the tip of it gets bent or broken somehow. If that happens, you can clip off about 5 millimeters of that tip and then basically just seat the duster gas adapter on top of it. To me, this shows that Airsoft Innovations was really thinking, and I like that a lot. I think it's a very smart design. Another thing I found was that the Airsoft Innovations propane adapter actually does a great job of getting the gas into the grenade without venting a lot. And this is in contrast to some other adapters that I've used that seem to vent a lot of gas when I'm trying to fill up the Tornado. I don't really know why. Even though this seems to be a simpler design, it seems to be working a bit better than some of the others. Now here you see the adapter on the bottle. Installation removal is pretty straightforward. You just unscrew it. And this little foot here actually acts as basically a guide to see if there's any kind of obstruction in the propane bottle valve area. You just tap it a little bit and you'll see if it's full and if the O-ring that's in that valve is crushed or broken or something like that. Screwing it back on, you don't want to do it too tightly, but you want to make sure that no gas is escaping. The duster gas bottle adapter is also pretty straightforward. Once you actually get the head of the duster gas off, which can take a little bit of brute force, then this little guy just seats right on top. And you basically do that until you hear gas vent. Once you've done that, you're all set. So like I said, for $6, not a bad setup. What you're seeing is the $15 maintenance kit that Airsoft Innovations offers. And I'm happy they do because I had to take advantage of it pretty early on in my testing. I actually lost the overpressure valve located in the end cap there, and so I was happy to have the extra one. And of course you also get some extra O-rings, you get an extra valve stem, an extra safety pin for the spoon upgrade, and also the standard pin for the standard model, and a plug as well for the standard model. Like I said, it's $15, and I already had to use it within the first couple of days of testing, so I would wholeheartedly recommend that anyone considering buying this grenade do the same thing. I personally think it's well worth it.